Here we go. Okay, I'm recording it. Welcome to our coach sneak peek. Okay, Tammy, I'm going to hand
Welcome.
it to you.
We are so glad that you guys are here. Aaron, Blake, and myself are going to be leading this call tonight. And if you guys can go ahead and mute yourself while we're doing this, at the end, we'll have an opportunity for you guys to ask questions. But if you can mute yourself now, that would be awesome. Hi, Blake. Blake's here.
Sorry, I'm late.
No, you're fine. We are just getting started. So we are on this call because we are wanting to share what coaching is all about. So I'm going to start us off, and I'm going to tell you a little bit. We're going to try to make this really short and sweet. I'm going to tell you a little bit about how I got started coaching, and I'm going to talk a little bit about what coaching is, and then I'm going to hand it over to Blake, and then Aaron will close this out at the end. So my name is Tammy. For those who don't know me, Tammy Gillis. I am coming up on my 4-year anniversary of coaching next month. 4 years. I cannot believe it. So just a little background on how I got into coaching. It was 5 years ago in May. I did my first Beachbody program, which was the 21-day fix. You've probably all heard of that huge program. It was after I had my third child, and I was struggling to get that weight off. I think this was actually a year and a half after I had her, and I just could not drop just that last bit of weight. So I saw a girlfriend of mine sharing on social media about this 21-day fix, and I kept watching her for like months, and she was having these amazing results. And finally I was like, okay, I need to know what you're doing. I need to try something. And prior to that, I'd always been a runner, and I was struggling with getting back into running. So sorry, I'm still getting over this cough. So did the 21-day fix, lost 11 pounds in 21 days. I was feeling great, and fell in love with the program. Like the nutrition, everything was exactly what I needed. It worked for me. After that 21 days, I slowly drifted off and stopped doing the workouts. That fall, I started a new program. I was like, okay, I'm going to start again. I'm ready. I started PiYo, which was one of my first loves. Love that program. And was getting such good results. Like first time I had ever had definition in my arms. Like I was feeling all good. And then my daughter had open heart surgery. And so we were in the hospital for a week. And after that, like I just lost my mojo again. Like and this had always been me, like never consistent. Like I would work out, not be consistent, work out, not be consistent. And then I joined my first challenge group. Somebody invited me to a challenge group, and oh my gosh, I loved it, guys. It was everything I needed. That support, that community, like the girls in there were awesome. They were lifting me up. And like just seeing them post in there, it just kept me going and pushing me. And so I was in that group for a couple months and stayed consistent. And then that group ended, and I was like, ugh. So I was like, dang it, I need something. What am I going to do? So I decided that I was going to become a coach. Had no idea what that meant, but I was like, I'm just going to run my own group. I'm going to sign up, going to be a coach. I paid my $40 to be a coach, and started a group and just started inviting people to it. And that's how I got started. I had no idea what I was doing. I had no fitness background, no nutrition background, but from the time I signed up to be a coach until now, here 4 years later, it's been the most consistent I've ever been in my entire life. Honestly, I don't miss a workout. It has just become part of my daily routine, and I just love it. And so like I said, it just started out as this hobby, and I fell in love. Like I was helping these people get started on these workouts, and people I was seeing, my friends and family get results. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is awesome. And it became my passion, and it became, I'm also a stay-at-home mom. It became something that I could do while I was at home, and I could earn a little bit of extra money, but I didn't have to put my daughter in childcare. I didn't have to change what I was doing. I just worked around her schedule. When she was little, I worked around her naps. Now I work around, when she's at school or whenever I can fit it in, which is hard to be honest, but I do it whenever I can. And I just absolutely love it. So that's my story. A little bit about my background and how I got started. Let me tell you a little bit about what coaching is. So what does it mean to be a coach? We are not fitness experts. We are not personal trainers. We have all of those people right there online for us. We don't need to be experts because we have Autumn Calabrese, we have Joel Freeman, we have Shanti. Like, they're all there. They're the experts. We are, sometimes I like to refer to us as like glorified cheerleaders. Okay. So we get people started in programs and then we cheer them on. We encourage them. And that's basically what we do as a coach. But how do we get people to join our challenge groups? Social media. That's it. Like, we share what we're doing, not just social media, but in person, also conversations, people we meet, we talk about. Like, you go to a restaurant that you love and you're like, oh my gosh, people post all the time on Facebook, I just ate at this place, you guys got to check it out. That's what we do with our programs. That's what we do as a coach. We just share what we're super passionate about and what we love, and we encourage people to join us. And when they do, we put them in these support groups that maybe you guys have been in. I don't know if everybody's been in a support group or not, but we put them in these groups, and that's their accountability. And then what we do is we check on them. I try to check on my challengers weekly. It depends on each person, whether it's weekly or bi-weekly, whatever they need. Everybody has different needs. And we check on them and we encourage them. But that's honestly what we do in a nutshell. Like, we help people get started on a program. We help them decide, which program to start with, and we encourage them. We cheer them on. Glorified cheerleaders. That's what we do. And it's so fun. And when people start messaging you back and like, oh my gosh, I just lost 5 pounds in 2 weeks, I haven't been able to do this, or, whatever it is, this is the longest I've stuck to a workout, I love this program. Like, those messages just fuel you, and like, it just feeds my soul. Like, I absolutely love it. So that's basically what we do in a nutshell. I'm going to hand it over to Blake, and Blake is going to tell a little bit about her story and how she started. And are you ready, Blake? Are you good to go next?
Yeah, I'm good. I after I tell my story, what am I going into? I'm sorry.
Oh, no, that's okay. You're going to address some of the objections that we get as far as people think that coaching is.
I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
I'm sorry, everybody. I'm actually thrown off by who the person is that says Frank Miller. That's totally my dad's name. I was like, hi, Dad.
Is it really?
It is.
That's Tommy.
I'm like, who is that?
That's actually her husband's name, and her name is Tommy.
Okay. Well, hi. Okay, so I'll be really, really quick about my story, but basically it's very similar to Tammy's. I started doing with 21 Day Fix while I was pregnant with my second kid, and then I was like on a mission to lose baby weight as fast as I could after the second baby, which in retrospect I probably should have not been as crazy about. And I just fell in love with the program. I fell in love with Shakeology, but was like, I don't know if I can fit that in my budget. My husband was like, you need to figure out how you're going to pay for that. And I'm a stay-at-home mom, and background, I also am a full-time like freelance writer, editor. So he was like, you need to figure out how to pay for it. So I literally my sister-in-law was my coach, and she said, well, why don't you just sign up for the discount? And I was like, okay. And then she was like, and then if you get 3 people buying Shakeology from you each month, yours is covered. And I was like, okay, I can do that. So I totally went into this 100% with the discount in mind. I was not planning on doing anything else. I already have a job. I don't need money. We all could use a little extra money. Who couldn't? But I wasn't, I didn't have, money was not a motivating factor for me is what I'm trying to say. The discount was my motivating factor. I, like Tammy, really loved the challenge groups. I thrived on it. I write about health and fitness for a living, and I feel like I have like all this knowledge and like nowhere to share it. And this was just sort of a perfect segue into coaching, because I was able to utilize this information that I've gleaned from all these interviews with nutritionists and fitness experts and whatnot, and then apply it to what I do and help people. So I went into it with the discount, and then all of a sudden, you know, I shared my results because a friend at the gym's like, you should show people your results. And boom, people were like, what are you doing? I want to do what you're doing. And then it literally snowballed from there, and it hasn't stopped. And that was just like Tammy. I think Tammy and I might have the same month anniversary. I'm a coach for 4 years next month. I can't even believe it. And yeah, I just love it. It's hard to explain until you're in it, but it's just fun. I find myself like I have deadlines for work, and I skip them because I want to go and do like my Beachbody stuff. Like it's this hobby turned all of a sudden paying, you know, my mortgage each month type of thing that literally went into with the intention to get my Shakeology for free. And then I mean, so many amazing things. But anyway, the biggest thing for me was having been, obviously I have a career as a writer and editor. I was super worried what people would think of me. What would these other writer friends think of me? What would editors think of me? What would my friends from college think of me? Oh my gosh, she joined this multi-level marketing pyramid scheme thing. Would they think I was salesy? Would they think I was sleazy? I was paranoid about everything. And I don't know if this just comes with age, where you get to a point where I turned 40 this year, and you just sort of realize other people's opinions of you are none of your business. Like who really, like if somebody's really judging you, you like, why should you even care? Then they're not your friend anyway. But I think what I realized is if you do this from the heart, like if you really truly are like, I believe in these products the same way, like you find, like Tammy said, a restaurant that you love, and you find a I don't know, whatever, a bottle of wine that you love, you share it with people. It's the same thing. So I was super scared what people would think. And the best way, like I said, that I can explain it is you get to a point where like you love something so much, you just have to, it's a mindset switch. You're not selling something. I'm literally just sharing. So I'm not like posting about, oh my gosh, there's a big sale. Like if you go to like my Instagram feed, I don't think you'll see anything that talks about like something going on sale. You can buy this, you can do that. I'm literally just talking about what I do. I talk about what I'm eating. I talk about my workouts. I talk about, you know, the personal development I'm doing. I talk about how it makes me feel. I talk about how it's helped me financially. I talk, you know, all those things. I think that's the biggest objection is people are really, really scared about what people will think, and that this is a pyramid scheme, which by the way, for the record, is illegal. So you can't, this is as legit as it gets. It's even an even better opportunity because if you look at other opportunities, other multi-level marketing opportunities, they require you to buy inventory. They require you to buy product every month. They require you to basically buy in. You know, you have to buy like a big starter kit. You have to do all that stuff. There's none of that. There's no requirement to sell anything. There's no quota. There's none of that. So if you're worried that like, oh my gosh, I'm never going to sell anything, you don't have to sell anything. Oh my gosh, I don't have the experience to coach anybody. You don't have to coach anybody. You can literally just sit there and get the 25% discount on products that you love, literally. And if somebody decides, hey, can I buy, you know, Shakeology from you? Can I get Beachbody on demand from you? Sure, no problem. You make a 25% commission on it. I mean, it's just, it's just sort of those no-brainer things where there's no strings attached. It's the easiest thing to do. And if you decide it's not for you, dare I say, it's the easiest thing to cancel in your entire life. Like there's literally no strings attached. So it's one of those things where it's like, you just got to go for it. I think that's the biggest objection. As far as other objections, I think the next one would be the time thing. I don't have time to do it, which I think Erin is going to talk about. Everybody is busy. I have 2 kids. Like I said, I work. My kids are not, I have one that's still in preschool. I have a husband. Everybody's got things, but guess what? You would be amazed at how this company has made it so that we will train you to work in what Erin's going to talk about in what's called like power pockets. It's so easy to get things done. It makes it so much more manageable. And I've actually started applying it to like my own, my day job. It's been amazingly effective and made me so much more efficient instead of being a squirrel. So I'm going to pass it on to Erin because she's going to talk about that objection, which is I don't have any time.
Yeah,
how am I ever going to do this? So.
Hi, Ashley. Yay. My friend Ashley's here. Haven't seen you in so long. Thank you so much, Blake. Before I get started, I just have to say I got a message today from somebody super special that just hammered home for me what is so fantastic about being a coach. It was one of the messages ever of what we call non-skilled. So you know who you are, and it was just amazing, and it made my 3 years of coaching. It absolutely did. So thank you. Anyway, my story is I got started with 21 Day Fix, like Blake and Tammy. I started 3 years ago. So, 21 Day Fix came out 4 years ago. So I came a little after the train when it came out, but that's when it was still very popular. So that's why I think all 3 of us talk so much about it. And it's a great program to start with, and I still like to start people on that program.
Can I stop you real quick?
Yeah.
Hey, Ashley, can you mute your Zoom?
Yeah.
I think it's making Erin a little echoey.
Do I sound funny?
Hold on.
Just a teeny bit.
There you go.
Thank you. Okay. Now
Thanks.
I think you'll sound good now. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I had a little bit of experience with teaching some group fitness. I used to own a spin studio and been fairly active my whole life, but never super duper in shape. And then had my son after going through some fertility issues, and my body was kind of slowly getting into a really bad state, putting weight on in a slow way, in a way that I wasn't realizing it. And I was starting to get into this denial, and I was getting into this chronic pain and this kind of slow depression that was growing on me. And a friend invited me to this challenge group to do 21 Day Fix and to commit to the 30-minute workouts and to commit to the Portion Fix nutrition plan and to the Shakeology. And I told her, no, there's no way. I go to the gym. I'm good. I know what I'm doing. And she invited me again and again. And I eventually said, okay, whatever. And it was like to prove myself right. Rather than to prove her wrong, it felt more like to prove myself right. And I hated it for about 2.5 weeks. I thought it was complete bullshit. And, but I stuck to it. Like, I'm a rule follower, very much so. And so I'm like, well, I'm just going to do this, even though I actually had a cold at the time, just like I do now. And I'm like, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. And the challenge group made me do it. Like, I didn't post a single thing in the challenge group because at the time I hated social media. I thought clicking like on something was the dumbest thing in the whole wide world. Like, why would you do that? It makes no sense. Now look at me. And I'm all over social media. So anyway, about 2.5 weeks in, something clicked. They say it takes 21 days for you to break a habit and make a habit. And it was literally like something clicked in the back of my head. I'm like, I don't want popcorn. I want to work out. What is going on? And I still didn't really know. And then I found out at the end of it, I lost 10 pounds and 10 inches, and nothing like that had ever happened in my whole life. You know, I used to teach spin 5-6 times a week, and I couldn't lose a pound. What just happened to me? So then I was hooked. I'm like, well, okay, I'm gonna do another round and continue on, because, you know, I've still got a lot to work on. I'm still modifying quite a bit. My body still has quite a bit of strength it needs to add on here, and some more weight to lose. And so my friend offered me the coach discount, and I was like, well, yeah, I'll do this discount. I was skeptical. You know, it comes with all this, like, well, this, that, and the other thing, rules you read. And I was like, oh, I don't know about this thing, but I'll check this out. I want the discount. And so I signed up, and then I realized pretty quickly that people were like, wow, what did you do? People locally. And I told them, and I think my friend told me, or I read it somewhere, you know, when I signed up to be a coach, like, oh, all you have to do is send them a link and you get paid for that. I don't have to do really anything else. And then, you know, be like, hey, you're doing this with me. Great. This is fun. And that's something I'm going to do anyways, because I would do that with a friend anyway. Well, that's so easy. And it just kind of grew from there. Now, my whole life, I've been in software. You know, I started off in hospitality, and then went right into hospitality software, and it's transitioned just to software now, actually for home builders. But anyways, I've never loved my job. I'm good at it. And I've kind of always just gone with the flow from one job to another in software. And when people ask me what I do, I'm always felt kind of embarrassed to say what I do, because I feel like so many people that I meet and so many of my friends, they do something that is helping other people, that's good for the world. And I'm like, yeah, what I'm doing is helping somebody at their job, so that's good, but not ultimately helping other people. And that's what I want to do. I want to do something that's helping other people and that's good for the world. And then Beachbody, you know, like, I started doing it for me, and it was making me feel good, and it was just getting better and better as I continued on each program. And you know, I started to do this coaching, bringing, you know, a few friends on here and there, and I just started to realize, oh my goodness, I was in my late 30s at the time. This is it. Holy crap. My whole life I've been searching. You know, I'd dabbled with the idea of like, well, maybe I should go back to school to be a teacher or something, but no, that's so daunting. There's no way I'm going to do that now at this point. And like, how much money is that? And it just blossomed into, finally, I have found my passion and what I really, really love. And it's just grown from there. And what I've always truly loved so much about coaching is there was no obligation. There was no, like, you have to do it. So I felt that out if I wanted it. Like, if I want to run away at any moment, I can do it. It's okay. So I felt comfortable with it. And I've also loved my first summit that I went to. So as a coach, we have a gathering every summer in July, Beachbody Coach Summit. We go to a different city, and this year it's in Indianapolis. And my first one I went to was in New Orleans, which was awesome. And I went there kind of, you know, still new to coaching and starting to feel like I really like this, but not really sure yet. But I was going to celebrate me and how far I was coming in my own journey. And I went there thinking, okay, I'm looking around. I see a lot of people that are a lot like each other. And I think this is a question and something that often comes up to people, like, yeah, but how am I going to stand out as a coach? Because there are hundreds of thousands of coaches out there in Beachbody, and then even more in similar realms as us, right? And it was 3 days at Summit. By the end of Summit, I was like, I just gathered so much knowledge and just realized from everything that all the speakers I listened to, and from just walking around and I guess absorbing the vibe, whatever, I don't know how to put words to it. I can do this as me and not everybody else I'm seeing around. I don't have to be them, and it's better if I'm not them. I'm going to succeed so much more if I'm just plain me. And so then I was like, boom, I'm ready. Let's go. So I want to talk a little bit about being busy because I work full-time right now. I've also started to teach some group fitness classes, have a 5-year-old and I'm married too, and life is crazy. And I'm trying to switch to working part-time. I've been applying to jobs like a madwoman because I do want to take Beachbody to be full-time for me because I'm so in love with it. But right now, to get there, I'm insanely busy. So to do Beachbody, it is possible whether you're doing it as a hobby, you're doing it off and on, or you're doing it more full-time. No matter what, you're busy and your life is important. And the way that we all do it is we do it in these power pockets. So we just work 5 minutes at a time. So whether you are going to be working the business, if you choose to ever do this, on social media, or if you are just talking with local friends and family, doing those vital behaviors of inviting people or connecting with people and sending information, just doing that in little 5-minute pockets of time that you have. So like when I'm just sitting there watching cartoons with my son in the evening, I don't need to watch that cartoon with him. I can sit next to him, he's snuggling, and I can be on my phone and do my connections that I need to make or send out some messages I need to send out, and boom, my business is rolling and done. So I've found I'm absolutely able to do this either as a hobby or continue to push a business forward and grow a business in these very short little 5-10 minute power pockets of time. So, you know, sometimes we feel like there is no way I would have time to do something like this, when really it's not that much time that is required of you to especially get started. It's like Blake was saying, it's as simple as sharing what you would already share with your friends. You're probably already sharing with your friends. Oh my gosh, I'm doing this workout. It feels so good. Listen to what happened to me because of it. Now all you do is take 2 seconds to send an email to them because they're like, oh, I want to do that same workout. Here's the link. And you just got paid somewhere between $40 and $60 for sending that link. It's that simple. It's pretty amazing. And like Blake said, I've always just loved how much, how you can just come and go as you please as a coach. So there are absolutely no requirements. If you want to sign up and just get the discount, you do that. No one will ever ask you to do anything else. If you sell one package and then you do nothing else, no one will ever say anything to you. And so it's just nice and it's free flowing. It's totally up to you. If you do want to take it further and you want help, the support is there from our team. The support is there from Beachbody Corporate. They provide so much training, constant knowledge, like literally every single day, from speakers within the world to top coaches to people within corporate headquarters. It's quite amazing, the training that we've received. So I think the only other thing that we haven't really touched upon that I noticed, and maybe I'm wrong, was, do I have to be at my goal? And that's something I really wanted to make sure we touched upon, because I know that's a big deal to a lot of people and big question. No is the answer. There's really no other way around it. I know Tammy, Blake, and I, we're constantly working for our goals. It's a constant, you know, your body's always going through different phases and different things. But when we all became coaches, we were nowhere near our goal. We became coaches when we first started off with our programs and with Beachbody, excuse me. So you actually make a better coach, in my personal opinion, if you just start right off, you join a challenge group, you commit to a program. I recommend you commit to it as it's written. So you are working with the trainer, you are learning about the program, and you share it with people as you go along. You're not at your goal, and you're sharing with them, here is my journey. Come do it with me. And you coach them along. A coach is maybe coach isn't always the right word. Maybe at some point you become more of a coach, but I think oftentimes we're really more of just a friend. I think I heard one top coach say one time, my job is to be a friend maker. I am a best friend. And I think that's really what we do best, is we're just a friend out there making a community of friends who want to live happy, healthier lives. So that's a fun thing to do, I think. I don't know. Anything else? Oh, because we talked so much about 21 Day Fix, did you know 21 Day Fix is coming out with a live version? So Autumn Calabrese is going to do a live version of 21 Day Fix this spring. So just because we've mentioned it so many times, I thought I should say that. So look forward to that. I know I am, because she's kind of amazing. Tammy or Blake, anything else that I've missed or that we...
No, I think that we have covered everything. Does anybody have any questions that we can answer? Anyone?
I guess I have a question. What do you have to do to stay active?
Ooh, good question. So to stay active, you would need to buy something that's worth 90 point value. So
It's actually 50.
Oh, 50 point value.
It's 90 if you're diamond.
Okay, thank you. 50 point value. So every product at Beachbody is given a point value. So for example, Beachbody Performance Recover is worth 50 point value. So if you buy just Recover monthly, then you would stay active. And the importance of staying active is that, and correct me if I'm wrong on this, Blake, but my understanding is if you do sell something, in order to receive the commission, you need to be active.
I don't think so.
No?
I don't think so.
Okay, then you explain it, because I always thought that was true.
Now you're putting me on the spot. I feel like
we can come back to it.
I don't think.
I thought that was true also.
You know what? I'll double check the importance of being active and I'll message it to you.
Because if somebody if somebody purchases something from you, you still get that commission even if you're inactive. That volume still counts towards your being active. So if somebody bought Recover from you, that puts you into active status. Does that make sense? Like that's 50 PV. That it's not right. We shouldn't be talking about all this right now. You guys are confused. We'll find out for you, Megan.
Okay, thanks.
but it's truly, I don't think anything when you first start, I don't think you need to worry about it. I've actually never told anybody that they need to be active to earn a commission.
Yeah, it's never actually come up.
The only time that comes into play, which is more, is when you start rank advancing, and you have to be active status to earn like team cycle bonuses, which again, this is getting into like a lot more than you need to know, but things start to compound for you, and that's when it's more important.
Easy enough.
Yeah.
But there's no requirements to buy anything. Like
you can be inactive. I mean, you don't have to buy a thing. I have, some coaches that 1 month they're active, 1 month they're not. 1 month they're active, 1 month they're not. It doesn't. I wouldn't worry about that. But I don't think you have to be active to earn at all.
No.
I will verify.
Yep. We'll check it out and I'll let you know.
And I will say, I have somebody who just signed up as a coach this month who literally, I always think of it this way. Like anytime I sort of make any sort of sale, I always try to put it in perspective. Like if that earns me $40, I always think of like, oh my gosh, my family, we go to this pizza place here and to get like the family dinner, it's like $23. I'm like, that's almost 2 dinners out with my family.
Mhm.
And how much is that worth to me? That's worth everything to me. Like, that is like the best thing for me. So in my mind, I'm like, even if I made one dang pizza dinner, I'm like, that time spent with my family and not having to be like, oh, do we have to fit it in the budget? Like, it's just sort of like extra. That's amazing to me. And that's just personally. For some people, there might be like a credit card debt that you cannot get, chip away at, or a student loan that you just can't chip away at. There could be other reasons for what, like, what I'm saying is the extra cash sometimes is it's not necessarily more about, it's not about the cash. It's about, for me, like, I get to go spend that time now with my family doing this like fun, like extra little thing. Like,
And for me, it's having our cleaning ladies come every other week
Yes.
instead of once a month.
Yes, Megan. Oh
I'm
my
like,
gosh.
that will be my cleaning lady money. She can come now every other week.
Megan, I never
That's a great goal.
ever had a house cleaner in my entire life until I started coaching, and it was more of like a delegation thing. And it's the best
It's life-changing.
money I've ever. It is life-changing. I have no problem scrubbing a toilet. Don't get me wrong. I have no problem. I actually like get real into like cleaning bathrooms and stuff. But the time that it takes to like clean, I mean, that's time you could be doing other things, spending with your family, taking your time, your me time, catching up on like a bad reality TV show. Like,
Amen. Exactly.
I mean, again, it's not necessarily like, for me, it's not like ooh, I get to buy this like new purse kind of thing. And that's fine if that's what floats your boat. For me, it's like, yeah, I get to get a house cleaner now. You know what? I can afford that extra
1
thing.
minute left.
So, okay. Anyway, that's all.
Sorry. We have just 1 minute left. So I'm going to just close this out. But if you guys do have any other questions, go ahead and give us a message. I think you all know how to reach out to us. And if we don't know the answer, we do know where to find it.
Thank you guys for joining us. We appreciate your giving us your time, letting us share our stories.
This is great. Thank you. Everyone have a great night.
Stay warm.
Yes. Chat soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.